A bunny had all 4 of his limbs torn off.
Bing.
And a duck had his eyes gouged out and his throat flipped. These are all extremely generic.
If you really want to terrify me, tell me something like the bunny had like a hole in its chest. I don't know. Tell me something that's not the exact same as every other story.
How about let's make this more interesting. The squirrel had its teeth ripped out and shoved down its throat. Its tail was also missing. That had been curled around its neck and hung from a tree. That sounds a little more interesting.
That sounds terrifying.
I made that up with my Brian. Help me.
Yes, Tori, I will help you. First of all, you're not allowed to read scary stories anymore.
I'm already not allowed to do that, and here we are reading Sonic.exe. Well, that's not really scary, it's just sad. Tails moves past, looking more and more...
What do you mean by sad? This is sad for me. I'm being traumatized. This is a terrible story.
I felt sick to my stomach when the massacre, and apparently when I saw the massacre, apparently so did Tails. After a few more seconds, there were no more animals, and the music seems to have stopped.
Bing!
I still kept Tails to continue. After a minute passed, when the music stopped, Tails was running up a hill, and then he stopped. It wasn't until I saw... Whoa! Gonna knock over my microphone. Don't.
Well, at least it's more interesting than this.
Tails looked happy, but then stopped. It wasn't until I saw why. Sonic was there, on the other side of the screen, with his back against Tails, his eyes closed. Tails looked happy to see Sonic, but then his smile faltered. Obviously noticed Sonic wasn't responding to him. Come on, you're gonna rip off the Blair Witch Project's ending.
What?
Have you not seen the Blair Witch Project? So in the ending, spoilers, right now. In the ending, Jennifer, I don't know. I was watching it at night. I can't remember squat. So Mike, John, and what's her face? I can't remember the main character's name. Wow. But she runs downstairs to see Mike standing in the corner, calls out his name. He doesn't even respond, and then she gets killed. Anyway, so I still kept Tails. So, noticing, if not acting as if he was totally oblivious to Tails' presence, Tails walked slowly towards Sonic, and I noticed that I wasn't even moving my keyboard to make a move. So this had to be a cutscene. Suddenly, I began to have a growing feel of dread.
Bing!
As Tails walked closer to Sonic to get his attention. I felt Tails was in danger and something bad was going to happen. I heard a faint static growing louder as Tails was inches away from Sonic. Yep. And stopped and stuck his hand out to touch him. The foreboding feeling in my gut was growing even stronger, and I felt the urge.
Is that a bang?
No, not really, because it would count as the static grew even louder. Suddenly, for a split second, I saw Sonic's eyes open. They were black with those red glowing dots. No being, because that's already happened.
Bing.
No being, because it already happened. It's already cliche.
I like saying
Bling. Dollar bills, y'all. All about the Benjamins. Just as like the title image, though there wasn't a smile. When it happened, the screen turned black and the static sound was off. It stayed black for about 7 seconds, and the white text appeared for him saying, "Hello, do you want to play with me?" Yep, that would be a big. At this point, I was creeped out. I didn't want to continue with the game, but my curiosity got the better of me.
Bing!
And I was taken to a different level that was now saying hide and seek. This time it was Angel Island from Sonic 3. And it looked like everything was on fire. Tails looked like he was scared out of his wits this time.
Bing!
He actually looked at me and made frantic gestures to me as if it were to get out of the area he was as fast as possible. I was starting to get freaked out by this.
Bing!
I'm gonna just give the bing for the breaking the fourth wall, and we already got the freaked out. So, I mean, Tails was actually breaking the fourth wall, trying to tell me to get him out of there. So I pressed down on the arrow as hard as I could, and made him run as fast as he could. A pixelated version of that creepy theme when you meet Shadow on Ark of Robotnik from the SA2 was playing. Did this guy just memorize everything?
For what?
Every Sonic game. He knows all the music and everything. blah blah blah. So trekked through the desolate forest, trying to help him escape whatever he was trying to run from. Suddenly, I heard that creepy laugh again. That awful Kefka laugh. Right after 10 seconds had passed, I helped Tails run through the forest.
We're not even halfway done?
12 minutes left. You keep talking. So let's stop and have you rant at the end. You can breathe.
No, I need to rant.
Anyway, the music changed, suspenseful, drowning jingle as I see Sonic behind Tails, slowly gaining on him. Flying. Sonic wasn't running, he was actually flying. He's doing something that takes him out of character, that's a bing. The flying pose of his stripe made him look very similar to Metal Sonic's flying pose in Sonic CD, except it was just Sonic, and he had his black and red eyes again, only this time he had a more deranged looking grin on his face. He looked as though he was enjoying the torment he was giving the poor little fox as he gained up on him.
Bing.
Suddenly, when Tails tripped, another cutscene, the music stopped. Sonic vanished, Tails laid there and started crying for 15 seconds. The scene was rather upsetting to watch. I kind of teared up myself.
2.
But then Sonic appeared to be right in front of Tails, and Tails looked up in horror. Blood starting to come from those blackened eyes as Sonic grin slowly grew, and as he falls his face and looked down at the horrified fox, I could do nothing but watch. Just in a split second, Sonic lunged at Tails before the screen went black.
Wait, is this in first person or third person?
I have no idea. They switch a lot. They also switch tenses. They also switch grammar, and I think they switch English to, like, I don't know, Google translates Spanish to English.
Perfect.
JC the hyena, you should feel bad. This story is really bad. It's good in length, but try and make it sensible. Anyway, Tails looked up in horror, blah blah blah, just in Sonic lunged. So, a loud screeching noise that only lasted 5 seconds.
Bing.
The text turned, this time it said, "You're too slow. Wanna try again?" Then
No.
and then that laugh came with it. I was shocked by what had happened. Did Sonic murder Tails? No! My fanfiction! No, couldn't have. He couldn't have. He and Tails were supposed to be best friends, right? Why did Sonic do that to him? I shook off the shock as I was brought back to the character select. But Tails was different. Bing. Tails was no longer in the box itself, but in the TV screen. It's flickering with red static. Yeah, bing. Tails' expression scared me. His eyes were black and bleeding.
Bing!
His orange fur had gone black, and he had an expression of anguish on his face.
Bing.
Trying to ignore it, I picked Knuckles next. A large laugh, blah blah blah. You can't run. I was really freaked out now. I couldn't really tell if there was a glitch or a hack or some kind of twisted joke.
Your
or anything
computer
really.
probably has a virus now. Congratulations.
But the desire, despite my fear of what happened next, I kept playing. The next level looked much different. It was the ground of Scrap Brain Zone. Why is it called Scrap Brian? It should be called Scrapped Brian Zone, because you're an idiot.
Yep.
The sky background looked like the main menu. It was dark, reddish, cloudy sky, but the music had creeped me out the most. It sounded like Gaige's theme right after you beat Pokey and Earthbound. Bring an Earthbound back in it. I also noticed that Knuckles looked afraid, just like Tails did, though not as much. More rather looked like
make this a two-parter.
It probably will be. A little unnerved. He broke the fourth wall just like Tails did, as if he wasn't sure about going on. But I made him move anyway. He ran down the straight pathway to the dark level. As he did, the screen started to flicker, red static a couple of times, and then maddening laugh came. After a few seconds of running, I noticed several bloodstains on the metallic ground. I felt a growing sense of fear, thinking that something horrible was going to happen to Knuckles. He looked nauseated walking down with the blood-stained road, but I still kept him going. Suddenly, as Knuckles ran, Sonic appeared right in front of him with those black and red eyes. Found you. Nothing but the black screen with a text saying, "Found you." I was so scared. Sonic found Knuckles already? What was going on? It's not like this is a video game.
Yeah.
I'm just taking this way too seriously. Was this some kind of boss battle with Sonic? I hoped it wasn't, honestly. Suddenly, Sonic appeared right behind Knuckles and appeared to be...
Because your fanfiction said no.
To be pixelated black smoke. I made Knuckles turn and punch Sonic, but Sonic vanished in black pixelated smoke before I could even land a hit. With a terrible laugh went off again. Sonic appeared behind Knuckles again, and I made him punch again. Blah, 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 blah. This is just... Sonic was practically playing with us. Like he was playing a sick, twisted little mind game with me and Knuckles. Another cutscene played as Knuckles fell on his knees and clutched his head sobbing. I felt his agony because this is the game. Sonic was actually driving us both crazy. And then, a split second, Sonic lunged at Knuckles and the screen went black with another disordered screen noise that lasted for 3 seconds. Another message. So many souls to play with, so little time. Would you agree?
Bang.
What was going on? I started to think Sonic was actually trying to talk to me through the game. Blah, blah, blah. Red fur had darkened to a reddish gray, blah, blah, blah. Blood in his eyes were black and bleeding too. He had looked sad. I began to think those weren't actual characters trapped in those TV screens. Save files, but I didn't want to believe it. So I shut off the game and took a break, took a nap. Wish I hadn't, because I then began to have the most disturbing nightmare. I was pitch black darkness, though through the under the light given from a lamp that hung high above my head, I could hear Knuckles and Tails nearby. They were saying stuff like, "Help us," and "Why would you give us to him?" and "Run away before he gets you."
Bang.
That would be two technically, because a nightmare and then ghost talking to you through a nightmare. The cries died out as I heard Sonic laugh. His laugh, it sounded like a distorted laugh. You're a lot of fun to play with, kid. Just like your friend Kyle. Though that, he didn't last long. I was scared and looking around for the source of the voice. Won't be long now until you join him and all my other friends. I saw him walking towards me, flicking in and out of several directions. Can't run, kid. You're in my world now, just like the others. When he grabbed me, I saw his bleeding black, red eyes grinning face. I woke up with a fright. After a couple of hours, I continued playing the game. I don't know why, but I had to know. I had to figure out why this was happening. We're over halfway now.
You do realize curiosity killed the cat, and I may be a dog person, but you seem to be a cat one.
But satisfaction brought it back.
Well, he's not coming back.
So I turned on the computer and the game and selected Robotnik's. I still thought that was wacky playing as Robotnik, but anyway, the level title appeared and it said ... which I found really freaky. What? It was a hallway. It really didn't look like from any classic Sonic game, but though it wasn't pixelated style, I thought you were going to be like, it was hyper-realistic. A few dark bloodstains here and there. It was very dark red curtain hanging from the top part of the screen. And they sway very slowly. You could barely see it. The music was oddly pleasant. It wasn't, but I knew better. This was a song played in Hill Act 1, only it wasn't in reverse. Cool. He did a little animation.
Do you spend all your time, like, listening to music in reverse or something?
When I stopped at the long flight of stairs leading down, now I was nervous. Even Robotnik seemed unsure of himself. Even though I pressed onward, as I led Robotnik down the stairs, I noticed the walls have gotten darker and more reddish.
There's a reason why you live in your mom's basement.
The red torches were now an eerie blue. Then we landed in the hallway. It was longer than the last one. Or at least it felt like it, and we headed down another flight of stairs. This took at least 1 full minute. I would have gotten really bored by now. And then I heard the horde Kefka laugh, and Sonic appears again, blah, 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 blah. When Robotnik was in the third hallway, I was creeped out, though he tried to hide it. I couldn't blame him, I was scared too. Suddenly Sonic popped up right in front of Robotnik, the same way he did with Knuckles, and then red static. Red static lasted for about 15 seconds and showed me the most unpleasant image. The image showed a hyper-realistic of Sonic. A hyper-realistic of Sonic standing in the darkness. When you could only see his face, his head and torso faded into black. When I say hyper-realistic, I mean he looked so real you could actually see his blue fur as if you could feel the fur if you touched the screen. His face, oh lord, he had the most horrifying smile I'd ever seen. And that was saying something considering I saw the image at the start of the game. Dun, dun, dun. His eyes were wide and black, once again crying blood, which also looked hyper-realistic.
Dude,
And there were two.
how much detail do you pay attention to?
Glowing red dots and those black eyes staring right at me as if staring into my mind. His grin was wide and demonic. It literally stretched to the side of his face like a Cheshire cat, except Sonic had fangs. Very sharp fangs, much like werehog's teeth, except for more vicious looking, somewhat yellowish, and from the look of it, there were stains and small bits of flesh on his lips and fangs for eating, as if he ate some animal. I stared at the gruesome image for about a good 30 seconds, never taking my eyes off of it. I felt as if he was actually looking at me, smiling at me. That face. And this is where your computer shut down because it had such a bad virus that all your personal information was stolen and all your bank account info was taken away and you lost all your money. And your mother, who was living in your quote-unquote attic, aka basement dweller, was very unpleased with you and grounded you.
You've been grounded, even though you're 30.
Even though you're actually 49, you will never... So, anyway, I like our ending better.
Yeah, me too.
I heard the cafeteria laugh, but it sounded more distorted, demonic even, and went back to the image again, except there was this text again. Horrifying, pretty much one of the most horrifying things I looked at since I had this game. I am God. Ding.
Ding.
It was whenever that message, looking at Sonic, it hit me. I realized right then and there, this Sonic was a monster. He killed Tails and Knuckles. My threesome fanfic is now gone. Anyway.
Why?